All right, speaking of biggest bags, Mehdi, what's your biggest bag?
Yeah, there are a few. I've recently accumulated Cosmos Near. So before the ETH dump, I was able to sell some of my Ethereum for Near. There were a few catalysts which I thought were very interesting for Near. So first, you had Aurora Bridge, and I kind of saw activity on-chain activity where a lot of developers were deploying their smart contracts to Aurora from Ethereum, and then they also have this project called Octopus Network, where Polkadot projects can cheaply deploy their parachains on here. So that is those were the catalysts I thought were really good for the price action going forward for Near, and it kind of seemed undervalued. Apart from that, they have a sharding mechanism in terms of their architecture. So ETH is also adopting a sharding mechanism. But if you look at the founders' previous experience, it kind of seemed like there was a very good founder market fit. So they were specialists when it came to sharding and their previous employer experience, let's say MySQL and Google, they were working on sharding. So for those reasons, I got really bullish on Near and I bought it. Now I'm also getting bullish on AVAX because I think market has kind of started to forget about the fact that AVAX will be a multi-chain going forward. And I have like a small presentation which I can quickly deploy if time permits.
Yeah, I mean, does our audience want it? If you want the presentation, post down below in the comments. But I think people would love it. Maybe just make it brief.
Yeah, I'll be really quick. So, w- if you can see my presentation over here, firstly, with the on-chain data, you can see the Avalanche daily transaction. It's gradually it's going up. Like if you kind of do a log of it, it's going up exponentially. And now this is the interesting part. For me, one of the fundamentals of AVAX is the unique addresses. The unique addresses of wallet. So you can see the unique addresses of wallet even during the like even during the crash, it's just going up. And even whilst the price is going down, the fundamentals are still intact for long term. People are adopting it at exponential pace, and this is the beauty of network effect. Even if you kind of see the network utilization, it's quite high, and we haven't seen AVAX working at 100% of its capacity. So even if the transaction did 2.53x from here, it can still handle the capacity. Uh, Developer activity is also just going up and up. C chain is basically the Ethereum chain, so a lot of different projects are building on the C chain, which is amazing. Developer activity has also bounced back recently, and I think this is to do with their subnets. So one thing the market kind of ignores about AVAX is that it has the ability for other permission and permissionless blockchain to be deployed. So for example, if in the future you have a Cardano virtual machine, or if you have a Bitcoin virtual machine, or if you have a Solana virtual machine, you can deploy those on subnets. And when you deploy those on subnets, you can basically have all the dabs that were built over there, and you can migrate them. So which I thought was very interesting. They can capture a lot of multi-chain narrative going forward, and also the fact that it's not just those virtual machines. You can also do it with financial tokens, so security tokens like real estate, in the future maybe VC equities and stuff like that. And they can have some rules set up for the validator set, that let's say only those validators that are KYC can join them, and there could be an anti-airdrop mechanism for a lot of wallet addresses. So all of these interesting things, I think market hasn't realized it, and there haven't been good research out there that kind of show it to them. And for me, I feel like this is something which the market is missing out. And obviously, I don't know if you guys can see it. The ecosystem has just been flourishing, and what I really like is just not the copy paste eco projects from Ethereum, but native projects are also growing. I'm very excited about the gaming and metaverse sector going forward for Avalanche, and this is one of the reasons why I continue to like it, and I think I'm going to accumulate it going forward. Again, this shows you monthly active addresses, and now let's just talk about the valuation. You have Ethereum over here, you have Binance, Solana, Luna, AVAX, Cardano, Dot, and Matic. So I think AVAX is on the slightly like on the cheaper side if you compare it with other layer ones. And if you kind of compare it with the total value locked, it becomes even more interesting. Like it's cheap. So at current prices, it's slightly more expensive than Ethereum, but you're also kind of pricing in more growth because of these subnets and also some of the projects going forward from Ethereum to AVAX. So for me, it looks one of the interesting plays. And technically speaking, I believe there are two supports as well. So if you kind of see this trend line over here, downwards trend line, you can buy on the trend line over here around 72, between 72 75, and the historical support has already also been established around that level. So these are some of my thinking when it comes to AVAX. I think long term it's a good project, and as Forrest has kindly alluded to again and again, that crypto at the moment is just $2 trillion industry, and if it goes to 50 trillion, 100 trillion in, let's say, 5 6 years, 10 years, you want to have some part of your portfolio in layer ones, because you don't know what's the next trend. It could be social token, it could be fan token, it could be metaverse, it could be anything. But layer one at the end of the day captures that through its token utility and tokenomics. So you have to have that in your portfolio. And apart from Near, apart from Luna, apart from Polkadot, AVAX is also one of those options that you can incorporate in your portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, fascinating. I definitely agree with all that. I think people have known me as an ETH maxi for the last few years, but I mean, I think last quarter especially, I kind of got off the bandwagon. I mean, I still have ETH. It's still my second largest holding outside of Helium. But I think Avalanche, to me, is ready to blow, right? That's why I bought some. And just seeing the ecosystem and seeing the issues Ethereum is having with scaling, with high gas fees, almost anybody who's new to crypto that I meet, they're either on Avalanche or they're on Binance Smart Chain or Solana. They don't really care about Ethereum. They don't care about nostalgia and the past, right? Ethereum might have been the best for DeFi, but all the newbies, people who are new, retail investors, they're all heading towards new chains because they don't care about the status quo. They care about what actually works. Like this week, I was in the process of trying to put together a DAO on smart contracts, and I spent probably almost 2 Ether in just gas fees, right? And that's not scalable. And not everybody has 2 Ether to blow trying to launch and deploy a DAO and update it and all that stuff, right? So if people can do the same thing on other chains with better economics, I think it makes sense. So for me, I view it as I'm getting cautious with Ethereum and ETH 2.0, and I'm looking for ways to hedge that risk. And I'm hedging with Avalanche. In the past, I've talked about Near. I think Near is going to do very, very well. That's one that I may buy as well sometime this year. And I think those are the 2 layer ones I think have upside. Solana is good. But Solana, I think, it's already gone up a lot. So if anything, I'd probably wait for a bear market or a huge crash or correction. But in terms of those that are still undervalued, I think Near and Avalanche are pretty good.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.